China added as much new clean energy capacity in the first half of this year as the UK generated from all sources in the same period last year. Data shows, as wind and solar power generation continued to surge in the world's largest emitter of greenhouse gases. Power generation from coal and gas decreased by 5% in China in July compared to the previous year, according to a report from the Center for Research on Energy and Clean Air. This trend highlights China's rapid progress in renewable energy, surpassing the rest of the world and potentially offering hope in the fight against climate disaster. Experts say that China's advancements in green technology could make it a global leader in combating climate change.
The recent surge in clean technology innovation has led some analysts to suggest that China's greenhouse gas emissions may have already peaked, possibly as early as February of this year. This would mark a remarkable turnaround for China, the world's second-largest economy, which has seen its carbon emissions nearly triple from 3.6 billion tons in 2000 to 11.4 billion tons in 2022. China is responsible for about a quarter of global carbon output, roughly as much as all of the world's developed nations combined. Without China, effective global climate action is impossible. While China has committed to peaking its emissions before 2030, analysts have long argued that the country could achieve this goal by 2025 with sufficient government action. For the world to effectively address the climate crisis, China's emissions must peak soon.
According to Korea, emissions from the power sector in China decreased by approximately 3%, with emissions from cement production seeing a reduction of about 7%. Additionally, oil consumption dropped by 3%. Chi Chin, an analyst at Korea, is optimistic that if renewable energy continues to replace coal power generation, 2023 could be the peak year for China's emissions. However, predicting the peak of emissions in China is uncertain, as factors like the construction sector's resurgence or government stimulus could lead to an increase in emissions. China's emissions have historically fluctuated, with a decrease post-2014 followed by a rebound, highlighting the challenges in forecasting emission trends.
Despite the increasing use of sustainable energy sources, coal still plays a significant role in China's power generation, providing 60% of the country's electricity in 2023. The construction of new coal-fired power plants continues, with over 40 gigawatts added last year. However, the growth of alternative sources is slowing down, with only 8 gigawatts added in the first half of this year. It is important to note that China's capacity for power generation does not always align with actual production due to various factors. Nevertheless, the substantial investment in coal infrastructure could delay the necessary reduction in emissions. As long as coal remains central to China's energy sector and economy, achieving the significant emission reductions the world needs will be challenging.